Checking the microphone. Or should I do more of a godlike voice? Oh, very helpful. Sure we do. I even restarted it and it didn't work.
I told Adrian if you guys need it, if it gets too dark and y'all need a guide out here. I love it. When did we first notice this?
I assume you checked the breaker. All of them.
Was it this way yesterday? I don't know. I was in the sanctuary. We need to circle up. I don't know about y'all, but I think there's a couple of us that need prayer.
Sure.
You know it.
I could use a little bit of praying right now. To the left.
Let's do this. We got more coming through the door. It's nice that we can trap them here. Okay, join us in our circle. You have to jump over the.
You're gonna have to do it with things in your hand.
Okay, assume I've got a hold of your hand.
How about this? I'll take that and I'll set it on the stage.
Well, you know, we need to make it a little wider.
I think we might.
We're coming in.
Do a funny looking circle here.
Yeah.
That's okay. It feels like a circle to me. I don't know.
Bill?
No, Bill, don't know what it looks like, but
All right, we're not adding any more. We're going with what we got here. Let's all close our eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. God is omnipresent. And as we know God is omnipresent, we know that each and every person here is that expression of God. Each and every played bit of music, even the lack of lights, is exactly as it needs to be in this moment, in this service. Every word spoken during the service, every song heard, is exactly as it's meant to be to make the perfect service for this day. Each and every person that comes in will be prepared to receive and to take these words, this music, this love out into the world and spread it out to make that world a better place for everybody. I'm knowing and trusting that it's all in divine right order. Together, let us anchor and affirm this by saying,
And so it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bet you got A in speech when you were a kid, didn't you?
I actually took speech in college, and yeah, I got a really good score on it.
I got your one piece of paper for you pumpkin pie here for today.
Thank you.
You gonna be able to look at that with that?
Hey.
Another option? Obnoxious, but
We might have some sunglasses for you.
I know it's obnoxious, but in order for the camera to actually pick you up, I needed a light.
We know how important that is. You gotta get you on film.
All right. Person who's in charge of the board, please do the board thing. Oof. Man, I feel like I'm sitting in the sun. This thing is warm. This is why I use LEDs for the stage. All right. Am I live on the camera there, Chuck? Excellent. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, let's use a little bit of music. We're gonna make sure it's nice and low. Let's all close our eyes. We're gonna do things a little different. We're gonna meditate on release. So every time you breathe in and you have a thought, we all have thoughts, our brain continuously thinks, it's what it works. Meditation does not shut the brain down as some people think. It's merely observing from behind the workings of the mind. So as you take a deep breath in and there's something there in your mind, acknowledge it and release it with the breath. Like the sound of a phone, somebody's feet, a question. There we go. the question in your mind about something that's going to happen later. You take a deep breath in, acknowledge it for what it is, a thought, a thing, and release it. Feel a twinge in a muscle. You're not relaxed. Take a deep breath in, identify it, and release it. The art of centering is the ability to not be attached to things, thoughts, sounds, circumstances around you. You can utilize meditation to teach yourself to release, to let go. Take a deep breath in and let go.
the seeming chaos of the world, you will find peace. Center into this moment, to let go of all the things that you feel like you need to juggle, to hold on to. As you come back to this room, as you become aware of your feet in this seat, the back of your chair, the sounds of the people around you, open your eyes. But don't become attached to anything you see. You don't require to hold on to it. You can be with all your senses open, and therein you will find peace. Thank you for joining us in meditation. Our service will begin at 10 a.m.
Promised land is in the palm of our hands, not confined by the lines drawn in the sand, buried in flesh, hidden in bone. The kingdom of heaven is embedded in the soul. In order to return and become whole, we must be humble, surrender ego, let go of the future and the past, with a light that shines right through the mask. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you heaven is here. When the mind is clear, when the mind is clear, heaven is lost in the desert looking for oasis. Taste bliss takes our mind to Genesis. Exodus to the space, no nemesis. Fly into the sun like young Icarus. Born to the dust, rise like a phoenix does. To the gates of the kingdom so glorious. Marching forward into love like a warrior does. Return to the one and become victorious.
Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where we're at. It's here. When the mind is clear, 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 heaven is here. When the mind is clear, 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 into love. I dissolve my fears, I dissolve my fears, into love. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at. The promised land is not found on the map. Gotta draw the mind back. Pull out of the trap, move back, retract, make direct contact. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at. Lost in a strange land, caught up in this game plan. Trying to find my way back to the train station. Looking outside, but it's not a place, man. It's a state of mind. Graceland. Heaven is here. When the mind is clear, 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 heaven is here. When the mind is clear, 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 into love. I dissolve my fears, I dissolve my fears, into love. Gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you're at. Only in love, 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 only in love.
Yeah, Chuck. Is it on?
Good morning, everyone. I didn't hear everyone's greeting. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and listen to our Song of the Month. Let's hope.
I say yes to the goodness. I say yes to love. I say yes to abundance raining down from up above. I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. I say yes to forgiveness. I say yes to God. I say yes to the moment bringing me such positive thoughts. I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. No to the darkness, no to the fear, no to the voices that scream about despair. I say yes to the glory, yes to the light, yes to the voices that sing out with life. They're saying yes, they're saying yes, they're saying yes. I say yes to surrender. I say yes to grace. I say yes to the beloved. Looking back at me when we're face to face. I say yes to acceptance. I say yes to faith. I say yes to the lessons I'm learning how to grow through all the pain. I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. No to the darkness, no to the fear, no to the voices that scream about despair. I say yes to the glory, yes to the light, yes to the voices that sing out with might. I said no to depression, no to the rant, no to the voices that tell me that I can. I say yes to authentic, yes to the truth, yes to the laughter, yes to you. I say yes, I say yes, I say yes, I say yes, I say yes. I just wanna live in a joyful world. All I wanna be is a happy girl. I just wanna live in a joyful world. All I wanna be is a happy girl. I just wanna live in a joyful world. All I wanna be is a happy girl. I just wanna live in a joyful world. All I wanna be is a happy girl. I just wanna be in a joyful world. All I wanna be is a happy girl. I just wanna live in a joyful world. All I wanna be is a happy girl. I just wanna live in a joyful world. All I wanna be is a happy happiness. I just wanna live in a joyful world. All I wanna be is a happy girl.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont. I am the nearly Reverend Neil. See, it rhymes that way. I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here for Center for Spiritual Living. I'd like to say good morning to those of you that are joining us online. Please type in your name, let us know where you're from. Thank you for those of you that are joining in person. We are a small but mighty group this morning. Is anybody here for the 115th time?
Probably not that many, but close.
If you're joining us online for the first time, feel free to type in your name, let us know where you're watching from, let us know that you're here, and if you have any questions, I'm sure we'll be happy to answer them for you. Let's start off our service this morning by reading our vision statements together with all the enthusiasm. CSLB is an inclusive and transformative community of spiritual practice. Yes, it is.
guess that's me. All right. Good morning. I am Adrian Madden, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont. Can you crank that or tap the top, or because I know it's not loud. Anyway, please take a moment to make sure your cell phone is silenced, and I know they're not all silenced because I'm listening to cell phones right now. I hear dings and bings and rings and all sorts of things. Hey, the poet didn't know it. The other practitioners, I will be available after service for a brief moment of prayer on this side of the sanctuary. There's absolutely nobody there, so if I see you sitting there, I know that's what you want. Please don't leave here this morning with anything on your heart. Carrying stones gets really hard on your arms. We would love to pray with you, and we absolutely know that prayer works. And if you want proof of that, I'm more than happy to give it to you. Just sit on that side of the sanctuary. Please allow this music to take you into the silence, following by this morning's invocation. Enjoy.
Good morning. I'm not licensed to do anything.
Unmute him. Turn it over.
Just relax. Hear your heartbeat. Feel the movement in the quiet and the still. Take a breath. Release it slowly. There is nothing here to do, no need to fill. Every moment's just a fantasy that's of our own device. It's gone in the twinkling of an eye. Every memory's just make-believe, the stuff of hopes and fears that we've chosen to enshrine. I wonder why. Be at peace for a moment. For a moment's all we have. A moment's all we have. A moment's all we have and ever will. Ooh.
Here in this moment, feel your heartbeat. All the proof you'll ever need that God is present every moment in every space. God is coming through every note of music, every word said, every breath. God is here in this space. As I'm knowing this, I'm knowing that I am here expressing as God. And that each and every person speaks any word, that listens, that hears, that is just here, is expressing that very same God. I'm knowing and trusting that Neil's words, his sermon, his self, his very presence is that expression that is God, that perfect expression to bring forth more light into the world, into each and every person's heart, in all the space around them and out into the world, to make that world a better place for everyone. I'm knowing and trusting that each and every person is here to receive these words and to take them out into that world. I know this and so much more is true, and I'm so grateful and thankful for these truths. I'm so grateful and thankful for this chance, this place, this love, this presence that we all get to share of here in this space, online, and all around us as we go about our day. And I release my words into the perfect action and order of the law declaring them to be true, knowing them to be true, knowing them to be whole and complete, knowing them to be that absolute perfect expression of God here in this moment. I let go and I let God, and together let us anchor and affirm these statements, these words, by saying together, so it is.
Wow, I feel like we're under construction. I can't even see y'all. Okay, I am lost. I am completely lost. I was going to start to dance. Okay. Good morning, CSL Beaumont. Good morning. That sounds good. Today is Potluck Sunday, and we invite everyone to join us after service today to enjoy a nice lunch with like-minded people. Today is also the last day to sign up, if you would like us, to order the Big Leap for you. The sign-up sheet is on the windowsill. I assume it's over there, one of those. Be sure to sign up today if you would like that book. Next Sunday, March 26th, after service, we will have a meeting for those who have volunteered to host a small group as we study the book, The Big Leap, together. If you have any questions or want to be a host, please talk to Reverend Carey or Neil today. On Wednesday, April 5th at 3 p.m. here in Carter Hall, or there in Carter Hall, we are having a model Passover Seder for women of the 21st century, and I believe there's a flyer in the back regarding that. This is a fundraising event for our center, and the suggested donation is $36 per person. Please see the flyer in back for more information. Next Monday, March 27th at 1 p.m. in Carter Hall, our Board of Trustees will hold their monthly meeting. Remember, you are always welcome to attend. If you want to present an idea to the board, please contact Board President Bill Sodi so that we can put it on the meeting agenda. I don't know if anyone realizes that you can attend the meetings if you want to. Also, Brianna and Durwood need our help. They are moving and they need help moving. You can contact Reverend Carey regarding that. And words, I always like to do this every once in a while. Words from Ernest Holmes. Everyone stands at the doorway of limitless opportunity. And back to our regular programming.
To our regularly scheduled program. This is not a song that I wrote. I did write the lyrics to this. I think you'll find it familiar. The tune's by a guy named Ludwig. Join the joyful celebration. Let the festive time begin. Raise your voice in affirmation. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Grateful for our friends and brothers. Grateful for the time we share in communion with each other. All the people everywhere. Join the joyful celebration, greeting everyone you meet. Raise your glass in approbation. May the road rise to your feet. May the wind be at your back, and may the sun shine on your face. May the rain fall soft upon you, and your days be filled with grace. reflection, showing that we all are one. Namaste to friends and sisters, angels walking incarnate, divine beauty out and inwards, perfect and immaculate. Join the joyful celebration. Now's the time to lose all care. Raise your hands in exultation. Plunge them high into the air. Dance and sing in free abandon. Open like a butterfly. Feel your heart space keep expanding. Lift your spirits to the sky. Lift your spirit to the sky. To the sky. To the sky.
Always glad to have the amazing Al Yankee with us this morning. Okay, so when I said I wanted this to be an enlightening Sunday, this isn't quite what I meant. I feel like I'm going to get a tan up here. I should have worn my suntan lotion. Well, I'm glad to be with you this morning. I'm always glad to be with you here this morning, but I'm especially glad to be with you this morning because I get to share one of my favorite affirmations with you this morning. And this year we've been kind of embarking on a back to basics theme. So in January we took a look at the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind textbook. In February we took a deep dive into affirmative prayer. And this month we're looking at our spiritual practice of affirmation. And my talk this morning is about living the affirmative life. Last week, we also honored Women's History Month by talking about one of our, the legendary Emma Curtis Hopkins, who has a legacy, was the beginning of our legacy as CSL, of adding to our women's empowerment in our teaching. And she was our philosophical grandmother, as she was the teacher of teachers, and also helped teach our founder, who was Ernest Holmes. So today we're talking about living an affirmative life, which means saying yes to life, so looking for the good and focusing on the good. This made me think of, how many of you have ever seen the 2008 movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. In the movie, Jim Carrey plays a man whose name is Carl, who's feeling very stuck in his life, has this negative mindset, has lost his passion for life, and he attends a self-help seminar with this guru who advocates that you should say yes to everything in life. And so he comes away from this workshop, he's renewed, and he goes about his life saying yes to everything that pops up. Every opportunity that pops up, he says yes to. And so the movie, called Yes Man, is about all these little adventures and what he learns from this experience. If you've never seen the movie, I recommend that you watch it. So he ends up taking guitar lessons, learning Korean, flying to Nebraska to see a friend, learning to fly planes, attending a Harry Potter costume party, and I believe he learns at some point how to knit, because he happens to be walking by a bulletin board that says, "Do you want to learn how to knit?" And he says, of course, yes. He ends up going to learn how to knit. So that's living the affirmative life, saying yes to life and everything in it. Life is good, and it wants to express itself through you. That is our founder, Ernest Holmes, in the textbook, The Science of Mind. Life is good, and it wants to express itself through you. Now, Am I advocating that you say yes anytime and every time an opportunity comes your way? Maybe not, but it might be fun for a day. I've heard some things on the internet, some TikTok challenge about saying yes to everything and videotaping what happens. Might be fun for a day, just to say yes to any opportunity that comes your way. But having an affirmative view of life means opening yourself up to things that you may have convinced yourself that you can't do. Since we're talking about affirmations, one of the most powerful, or should I say disempowering, affirmations that we often say is, I'm too blank to do that. Anybody familiar with that one? I'm too old to do that. I'm too inflexible to do that. I am too busy to do that. That, my friends, is an affirmation. I'm too blank to do that. And every time I hear somebody say something that is that disempowering, I always think of the Eleanor Roosevelt quote, who said, argue for your limitations, and they are yours. Affirmations. Are you arguing for your limitations, or are you arguing for your greatness? What are the words that you use? So many of our limitations are self-imposed. They define our comfort zone. We have this little bubble around us that we call this idea of I, who we are, what we're good at, what we like to do, what we don't like to do. And a lot of times we have what the psychologist Carol Dweck called a fixed mindset. Meaning that we have this idea that everything that we're good at, everything that we like, everything that we don't like, everything that we're about is somehow set in stone. But the truth is, just because you didn't like broccoli when you were 2, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to hate it when you're 53. You see, we change, we grow. Who we are and what we're good at and what interests us and all of those things changes over time. It's not set in stone. So the opposite of a fixed mindset is a growth mindset. We have these beliefs that we've been carrying around that a lot of times that have been given to us. What it looks like to be that age, what it looks like to be married, what it looks like to be a woman, what it looks like to be a man. But those ideas can change over time. I see this all the time with my 4th graders who, now keep in mind, they're 10 years old, will say, oh, I'm not good at drawing. You're 10. Your life is not determined by what you're good at when you're 10. Thank God. Because otherwise I'd never be able to figure out math. But we have these ideas like, I'm not good at math. I can't possibly play an instrument. Oh, I'm not good at learning a new language. I can't learn to play the violin. I couldn't possibly play tennis. Says who? Argue for your limitations and they're yours. Just because once upon a time when you were 15, someone told you that you weren't good at something, doesn't mean you can't be good at it now. That's a growth mindset. Recognizing that there is this magic word that we can put at the end of sentences that opens us up to infinite possibilities. It's a magic word. You ready for it? Yeah. The word is yet. Yet. I can't play the violin yet. I'm not good at math yet. Right? That is having a growth mindset. That is opening yourself up to possibilities. That's allowing for the possibility that while it might have been true in the past, it doesn't have to be true today. As Adrian reminded us in his meditation today, precedent is not, let me say that again. Principle is not bound by precedent. That means just because it happened a certain way yesterday doesn't mean it can't happen differently tomorrow. That is a foundational belief in our teaching. That up until now, you may have had certain beliefs, certain thoughts, a certain life. But starting today, it can look different. So living an affirmative life means saying yes to new ideas, new opportunities, maybe even learning how to knit or speak Spanish. Saying yes to new challenges. Is there something you have been putting off because it's just a little outside your comfort zone? In the movie Yes Men, Jim Carrey, the main character, whose name is Carl, says, "We take risks not to escape life, but to prevent life from escaping us." We take risks not to escape life, but to prevent life from escaping us. You see, the truth about comfort zone is that if you don't occasionally push it back just a little bit, it starts to shrink. Have you noticed? Every once in a while, you have to be able to push that comfort zone back, to expand your idea of what is possible, to just push back a little bit on the things that you are taking for 100% true. Is it 100% true that you can't do that thing that you want to do? And if it's not 100% true, then maybe you just need to use that magic word. I can't do it yet. By saying yes to things is just one part of living an affirmative life. The second part about living an affirmative life is recognizing that life is good all the time. If we truly believe that there is only one power and one principle that we call God, and that God is omniscient, all-knowing, it is omnipresent, always available, always present. And if we believe that God is good, then that means that good is always present. No matter the good, the sad, the ugly parts of life, the parts that are uncomfortable, the experiences we'd rather not have, even those parts of life have within them the seed of good. Because if God is present, then good must be present. That means every situation, every conversation, every event, whether it looks good or not to our human eyes and our human emotions, it has to have a gift in there for us. There must be some good. I had a minister one time who told me that if you walk into a room and there is a pile of manure, you can either focus on the manure or you can say, there must be a pony in here somewhere. Even amongst the manure, there must be a pony. There must be a gift in there for us. And sometimes it takes years to be able to look back and say, oh, that thing that I thought I'd never get through actually turned out to be a good thing. Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me. Sometimes it takes years to get that perspective, to look back and say, at the moment I was going through that thing, I wished it wouldn't happen. But now that it's been 5 years, I can look back on it and say, thank God that that happened, because there was some good in there for me. Because God is always there. God, spirit, creative intelligence, it's always there. And part of our metaphysical teaching, meta meaning alongside or behind, physical, that there is something behind, there is something alongside the physical that we can't see. But through our faith and our knowing, we know it is there. So why do we have to wait 5 years to look back on that event and say, oh, it turned out that that was a good thing? The truth is, we can look at those events now and trust that there's going to be good in there now. We don't have to wait 5 years to look back on it and say, thank gosh that happened. I recently got in a little minor fender bender where I got hit by a parent in the school parking lot because they were making an illegal left turn. Not that I was in judgment or anything. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, there's got to be some good in here for me sometime. I have no idea why this happens, but I trust that there's some good in there. And then the other day it was snowing really, really hard, and I was driving home, and the snow was really coming down. It was covering the streets. And I was really nervous about driving home. I've never really driven in snow. I don't have a lot of experience driving in snow. And I thought, you know, I usually drive this little tiny Kia Soul, right? But now I'm having to rent this car. I have this like giant tank of an SUV that has like all-wheel drive in it. And I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe the entire point of me having that accident was so that at this very moment, I would feel a lot more safe driving in the snow because I'm driving this big, huge tank with all-wheel drive. Maybe that was the gift in that whole thing. Maybe if I hadn't had that accident, I would have been driving my little tiny Kia Soul and I wouldn't have made it home as safely as I did. Maybe there's always good if you can look for it. But don't wait 5 years to affirm its presence, because the truth is that it's present right now. You can affirm the good right now. We know, we trust that there is some good happening even in the unpleasant parts of our life. Now, a lot of people come into this teaching and they get this idea that it's all about being the Pollyanna, about the spiritual bypass, of like standing in your house with it's literally burning down around you going, it's all good. That's not it. That's not the point of our faith and philosophy. Our faith is knowing and trusting that there is an intelligence behind and within all of creation that knows what it's doing. There is an order to things and a purpose for things that we can't always see with our human eyes and our human emotions. Life is not about good versus evil. It's about knowing that good, that God, is always present and it always wins. I was reading recently about the most deadly wars in American history, World War II and the Civil War. What good can you imagine could come out of these deadly conflicts? Well, one of the good things that doesn't get talked about a lot is the medical advances that are made during wartime. The medical advances that were made during the Civil War and because of World War II have saved countless, improved millions of lives. Even in the midst of the most terrible thing that you can imagine, there's the possibility of good. Do you believe me? Yes. Emma Curtis Hopkins, who we talked a little bit about, the teacher of teachers who influenced our founder, has a pretty well-known affirmation that has been attributed to her. And I was doing some research, and it turns out that you can't really prove that she actually wrote it. It might have been Rumi, but no one's quite sure. But I like to think it sounds like Emma Curtis Hopkins, so I'm going to give her credit for it. The affirmation goes like this. This is one of my favorite affirmations. This too is good. This too is God. This too is for me, and I demand to see my good. This too is good. This too is God. This too is for me, and I demand to see my good. Living an affirmative life means being able to look at every situation and say, this too is good. Maybe I can't see it right now, but I trust that it's there. This too is God. If God is present everywhere all the time, then I know that God is in the midst of this situation. It turns out that even when the lights don't work, it reminds us that we may be without power, but we are never powerless. And there's always a brilliant alternative, even if it's a little bit warm. Even if we can't see it, even if we can't feel it in that moment. The point is to realize that we live in a universe that is God created, God governed, God maintained, and God sustained. And if God is creating it, governing it, maintaining it, and sustaining it, then it must be good. It must be for me. Because there's only one power, and that power is always operating for good. It's always operating for my good. It's always operating for your good. And if I let it, and if I want to recognize it, I can see that it's always bringing about my highest and best good. And that last line, I demand to see the good. Now, if you're like me, you get a little cringy at that sentence about what right do I have to demand the universe to do anything? Well, that's a worthiness issue. That's a talk for another day. But you are worthy of making demands on the universe. You can put your word into the law and have that law respond to you. We speak our word, we use that law, and we trust and know that the universe responds to us. So, I demand to see my good. Maybe I can't see it right now, but I can put my demand on the universe and say, I demand to see my good in this situation. Living an affirmative life means learning to say yes just a little bit more. It means being able to push our comfort zone just a little bit. It means recognizing that we live in a universe that is good, that is for us. Everything that is happening is for our good, for our expansion, if we are willing to be open and accept that good. So my last point about living an affirmative life is this. When you think about it, you're really always saying yes. You can often hear us saying things like, oh, God, the universe always says yes. But you know what? That's true for us too. Even when I'm saying no, which I've been accused of not saying enough, even when I'm saying no, I'm really saying yes to something else. When I say no to drama and stress in my life, what I'm really saying is yes to having peace in my life. When I say no to being in a relationship that does not serve me, what I'm saying yes to is honoring myself. I'm saying yes to the next greatest relationship. In her book, What If It All Goes Right?, Mindy Odlin writes this. Imagine a block of clay. The difference between whether you create the statue of David or Mr. Potato Head is simply the result of your decision for which specks of mud stay and which ones are removed. On a quantum level, physical manifestation results from the unique combination of what we invite into our consciousness. We say yes to certain things and no to other things. That's how we go about co-creating our life. It depends on your focus. My point is that we need to stop paying attention and giving energy to what we don't want and start giving our time and attention to what we do want. Stop saying no to what you don't want in your life and start saying yes to the things that you do want. It's a matter of focus. Because where you focus is where that energy goes. When we go around talking about what is wrong in our lives and what we don't have, that is where the energy goes. And the universe creates more of it. When we shift our focus to affirmative life and we put our time and attention to what we do want, that's where the energy flows. Energy flows where our focus goes. Energy flows where our focus goes. That doesn't mean that we don't look at the things that need to change. We're not going through life like this. La, 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 all is well, house is burning down. But it does mean that we focus on where we go, not where we've been. Where do we want to go? And we put our energy there. So my invitation for you this week is to say yes to something that pushes your comfort zone out just a little bit. My invitation for you this week is to know and trust that everything is happening for your good. Think about that one thing in your life that you would like to see shift, and demand to see the good in it for you. And lastly, pay attention to where your focus is. Are you focused on what you want in life? Are you saying yes to those things? Or are you saying no to the things you don't want? Where is your focus? When you do all of these things, then you will be living an affirmative life. And so it is. So I invite the practitioners to join me in this atmosphere of prayer. That place and space where we rest, where we trust, where we have faith, that we know, and that we know that we know that there is only one life. That life is good, that life is God, that life is my life right here and right now. It is all that there is. It is all that there can ever be. It is perfect wisdom, infinite intelligence, overflowing abundance, perfect wholeness, divine right action, perfect peace. And because it's too much energy to say all of those things all of the time, I simply call it good. I call it God. And I know that it is right here present, right where I am, because I recognize it, I know it, I trust it. I declare it to be so. It is living, moving, and having its being as me right here and right now. It is having and living, its moving, and having its life as you right now. The divine energy is flowing in, around, and above you, beside you, behind you, below you, above you. It is all that there is. And so knowing that is true, I can speak my word for each one of us this morning. Knowing that whatever is needed in reality or in our perception, that it is present because God is present. Wherever there is a need of abundance, I know it is flowing right here and right now. Wherever there is a need for wholeness, I know it is present right here and right now. And I speak my word this morning for Durwood and his wife, knowing that the presence of God, the presence of good, the presence of wholeness, divine right action, and perfect peace are right where they are this morning. I trust and know that wherever you are this morning in your life, that God is present right where you are. And as we say yes to that truth, as we say yes to that reality, as we say yes to life, anything that stands in the way of the full expression of that life simply dissolves back into the nothingness from which it came, because it has no principle, no purpose. It has no substance back of it, and so it simply dissolves back into the nothingness. I speak my word this morning for everybody within the sound of my voice, knowing that the love of God, the presence of God is present wherever it is recognized and wherever it is needed. And so in great gratitude, I simply say thank you for that truth, for the presence of good in my life, the more good flowing in and through my life right now, the good that I will have yet tomorrow. And I give thanks for this Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont, this building, this people, this spiritual community that reminds me that I am always at choice to say yes. And I release this word into that infinite law that always says yes, that always grows everything that is planted into it. And I release this word into that infinite power that does the work. And I simply declare it to be so, and so it is.
That's Neil, everybody. Neil said a lot. He had a lot to say. And because, I listen, I go, oh, should I change the song? Should I change the song? Because you were saying some things that were like related to lyrics and songs. And then towards the end of your talk, you're talking about, what do you want? Do you want to be loved? You want to be free? That's what this song is about. It's actually, that's all it is. Do you want to be loved? We all want to be loved. If you want to be loved, well, don't want. Be loved. Do you try to be free? We all try to be free. If you try to be free, well, don't try. Be free. You knew that was coming. Well, you see, it's really simple. You see, it's really clear. But simple isn't easy. They're not the same, I fear. Do you love to be free? We're all free to be loved. If you love to be free, and you're free to be loved, well, don't try, you don't want, be free. Don't want, don't try, be loved. Well, you see, it's really simple. You see, it's really clear, but simple isn't easy. They're not the same, I fear. Do you love to be free? We're all free to be loved. If you love to be free, and you're free to be loved, well, don't try, don't want, be free. Don't want, don't try, be loved. Don't try, don't want, be free. Don't want, don't try, be loved.
All right. So this is the time in our service where we get to say yes to abundance. This is the time in our service we can say yes to abundance. So if you are here in the sanctuary, our lovely ushers will be coming home forward in a moment. If you are online, you can go to our website, cslbeaumont.org, or if you are like me and attached to your phone, you can text to give 951-420-6909, which is up on the screen. And I want you to know that we appreciate and say yes to all of the abundance that we receive, that runs this building, that keeps the lights on mostly. And that we appreciate your donation and your support of your spiritual community. Let's say our abundance affirmation this morning. I give and receive freely and generously with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
Thank you for giving, and thank you for receiving, and thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing, and thank you for believing. believing, and thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing, and you are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing, and thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
As we close out our service this morning, I invite you to stand, and if you feel inclined, you may join us in the circle. If you would not like to join us in a circle, that is perfectly okay. We know that you are in your perfect and right spot, right where you are, as we finish out with our closing song and our benediction.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision, and no one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Repeat after me. There's this thing called love.
There's this thing called love.
Love is in my mind.
Love is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Love is in my body.
Love is in all my affairs.
Love is in all my affairs.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it shows up.
Just the way that it shows up.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am
And I give it away.
and I give it away.
And so it
And
is.
so it is.
Grateful for your tenderness. Life can feel unkind. I'm grateful for the way you see when I'm stuck inside my mind. Grateful for your courage. hold your steady ground. I'm grateful for compassion when mine cannot be found. Compassion when broken hearts bleed. Sweet compassion when my soul's in need. I find compassion for friends and enemies. My own compassion is where my spirit breathes. Oh, grateful for your thoughtful words when emptiness abounds. I'm grateful when you take my hand